Okay, so we got to talk about skin and what we can do to support skin, specifically looking at things like vitamins and nutrients that you can lean into. So what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to go through 3 key principles on what you need to know. And at the end of the video, so stay all the way through, because at the end of the video, I'm going to show you specific nutrients. And there's a long list of them. So I want to make sure you have them and that you know what to lean into. But first, we got to go through what causes the acne, what causes poor skin. So let's start there. The interesting thing about skin problems, if we look at how we've addressed skin for so many years, is we're always trying to manipulate the skin. But we have to remember that the skin is an internal reflection of your gut. So if you want to know what your gut looks like, look at your skin. It's literally like the inside of the gut. If I could pull it out, then you would see that that would be what your skin on the outside is showing you what's going on the inside of your gut. So one of the most interesting things that I've seen is that when my kids were teenagers, a lot of the teenagers that would come over to my house would have really bad acne. And I found that there was a correlation between to my own little study in my house, the teenagers that had worst acne were also the ones that were drinking milk all the time. Well, what was it in milk? Well, a lot of antibiotics, which destroys the gut, and a lot of hormones from the cows that they've pumped full of hormones to help them make more milk. The antibiotics that were in the milk and those fake hormones were causing these kids to have this acne problem. In our house, we were drinking raw milk, organic, hormone-free. And what I would always tell the kids is like, when you come over to my house, you can have this milk. And why don't you try even just giving up milk for a week and see what happens to your skin? Every single one of them, their skin improved. And they would come back to me and they'd be like, oh my God, you're right. And as soon as they took commercial milk out, all of a sudden the skin improved. So if you're struggling with your skin, whether you're a menopausal woman or in your 20s or 30s, or maybe you're a teenager who found my channel, know that we've got to look at your gut and we have to look at hormones, synthetic hormones. We call them estrogen or hormone mimickers, specifically estrogen. Okay, with that in mind, the first step, if you want to fix the skin, is you got to fix the gut. And there's a lot of ways to fix the gut. I will tell you, I have a ton of ways in Fast Like a Girl. So you can go and you can look at what I put in Fast Like a Girl. But I'm going to give you the basics. Fasting is incredible. Short fast, 24-hour fast. Anything under 24 hours does great for changing the microbiome. Adding in the 3 Ps. This is your polyphenol, probiotic, prebiotic foods. These are your sauerkrauts, your kimchi, your kombuchas, your fermented kefirs. Those can support really good gut health, but they're also all of your fibery foods. So this is eating more leafy greens, eating more vegetables, more raw nuts and seeds. The 3 Ps, all of that is encompassed in what I just mentioned. That's going to feed the good bacteria in your gut. So let's fast and let's feed those good bacteria. That would be step number 1. I also would add into that a probiotic can really help. So if you're on a probiotic, or if you're not on a probiotic, get on a probiotic. That can help. The other thing is, let's get you off not just the commercial dairy, but let's get you off the processed, refined flours like wheat or some of the white breads. Let's get you off sugar. Let's get you off the bad oils. Before I even tell you about a supplement, let's do some of the basics, like getting off the stuff that's destroying our gut and adding in the good stuff that is healing our gut so our skin can start to look good. We're so quick to want the pill. Sometimes we just got to go straight to the foundational ideas that will really make a dramatic shift in your skin. So number 1 is you're going to fix your skin. Okay, number 2 is you're going to detox hormones. So remember, if you're a woman that gets a real bad skin during your menstrual cycle, one thing that we know is that those hormones often can contribute to some of your skin problems. So let's make sure that you're breaking these hormones down so they're excreting out through urine, out through stools, and your body's not having to push them out through your skin. So how do you break down hormones? Well, we're back at the leafy greens and making sure you're having enough leafy greens, your body, especially around ovulation. Let's get lots of salads during that time so we can break those hormones down, or post-ovulation, because that's when estrogen comes in at her peak. So let's make sure we're breaking those down. But then we do have some cool supplements like sulforaphane. Love sulforaphane. That's a good one. DIM. A lot of you guys like DIM. I can tell you, my menopausal women, DIM can be a little tough and break estrogen down too much and really tank estrogen. So, but sometimes sulforaphane, DIM, if you're using products like that, can really help to break down estrogen so that it doesn't have to be pushed out through your skin. So number 2 is let's make sure that we're focusing on breaking and detoxing hormones, getting rid of those hormones so they don't have to be pushed out through your skin. Okay, now here's where the nutrients. Ready? You're gonna wanna get a pen and paper on this one. You might wanna pause this, go back, maybe watch the video again, but here's where key nutrients. Okay, A, C, E, B vitamins, zinc, and selenium. Those are your go-tos for skin. You can surely can find a lot of good multivitamins that have those in there, but those are technically your go-tos. Now, other go-tos, and I'm going to tell you some foods that have these in them, so stick tight with me here for a moment. Other go-tos are actually some minerals. Magnesium and potassium are some of the best. So those of you that are using Element, like in your fasting window, I talked about Element a lot. It's incredible. Those magnesium and potassium are specifically great for lubricating the skin. So if you want my menopausal women, where are you? My God, can we talk about dry skin? As estrogen goes away, our skin dries out. So even, adding in a pack of Element into your water every day is going to help with hydration of your skin. So make sure you're leaning into that. Oh, the other one that I want to talk about is a proper balance of omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. So we need that balance. You have a lot of omega-6 receptors in your skin. So when you're eating harmful omega-6 nutrients, like those that you might find in like a McDonald's cheeseburger with some fries, that's going to cause your skin to have more acne, more challenges in how it looks. But when we get off of those and we add in the good nutrients, the good omega-3, 6, and 9, now you have the opposite effect. So again, one of my favorite for omega-3, 6, and 9 is a product called Pureform. I'll leave a link here in the notes for you so you can find where you can order that. Okay, I got to interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle. And all you've got to do is click here and you can jump right in. Let's go into the foods and I'm going to rapid fire these. So fatty fishes, salmon, sardines, tuna, those are high in omega-3s. They're also high in selenium. So you're getting a dose of many of the nutrients I've mentioned. So can we lean into more fatty fish? Leafy dark greens, specifically kale, spinach, and collard greens, are going to have the vitamin A, the vitamin C, the E, the omega-3s. Plus some of those vegetables, believe it or not, even have a little bit of protein in them. So more leafy greens. Spinach specifically has a lot of selenium. So now we're talking about not just skin, but we're talking about thyroid. When I think selenium, I think thyroid. So, leaning into more spinach for that. Eggs. I've done a lot on eggs here on this channel. I love the egg. I want to bring back the egg. The egg has so many things that can contribute to us, but specifically eggs are high in protein. I love that. And remember, eggs have everything in it to make a baby chick, including collagen, and you need collagen for your skin health. So they also have vitamin A, vitamin E, selenium, thyroid, and zinc. What's zinc good for? Zinc is good for our hormones, for estrogen and testosterone specifically, and even progesterone loves zinc. But the more zinc in your body, and estrogen, by the way, specifically estradiol, when we were younger, really made our skin look great, made it really smooth, made our hair really curly. Why would estrogen do that? Because when estrogen is really high during ovulation, you want to look like your best self to attract a mate. So when we look at eggs having a lot of zinc in them, that's going to help regulate or upregulate estrogen, which right before ovulation is going to help bring estrogen to her glory, might make you more fertile. That's not the topic of this video, but it will make you look more beautiful so that you're ready to procreate. I know that's super shallow, but just this is how we're built. And so I just want you to think this through, like what the body doesn't do anything in mistake. And it also is intimately tied to nature, including the animals that live on this planet. So you just had to know that. Flax seeds. Flax seeds are great for omega-3s, selenium. Sheesh, there's lots of selenium options here, but flax seeds are also great for estrogen. Legumes, specifically lentils and chickpeas, they have zinc in them, back at estrogen. Avocados have healthy fat, vitamin C and vitamin E, and extra virgin olive oil is also a healthy fat. So you've got vitamin E. So literally, I'm going to create a salad for you right now because I love salads. So here's what you're going to do. Here's a skin salad. It's literally created right here on this YouTube channel, on this video. Okay, you're going to put a salad together with kale, spinach, and collard. Mix them all up, put them in there. Okay, your protein, you're going to get some salmon. Make sure it's wild salmon. You're going to get a little steak of salmon, and you're going to hard boil some eggs. So now we've got our protein that we're going to put on top of the salad. But before you do that, you're going to take all those greens and you're going to sprinkle flax seeds into them. And then you're going to take some lentils. I love lentils. Or you can take chickpeas, which are garbanzo beans if you want, and you're going to put those into your salad. Then you're going to cut up some avocados, cut up the whole avocado, be generous, put it all in there. Now put your salmon on top with your eggs. You can cut up your hard-boiled eggs and drizzle it with olive oil. And now you have a skin salad. I just created that right here, right now. I think I'll go home and eat that. But if you want to improve skin, there you go. There's your skin salad. So lots of options for us. If you're not loving what's staring back at you in the mirror, it could be that you need to add in some of these nutrients. You need to add in some of these foods so that you can start to feel a lot better. So in this video, I want to dive into skin. So I've done a handful of videos on skin. And this one specifically, I want to talk about some natural remedies that science, I'll link the science here for you that want to know the science, are showing can actually help with skin tags and warts specifically. So I'm going to go through, I've got 5 things to talk about when it comes to skin tags and warts. I want to remind you that if you have any different skin lesions on your body that aren't going away, that are growing bigger, that look suspicious, please go to your doctor. It's always important to get your skin checked out. So that's the first important thing to know. With that in mind, I also want to give you a way of thinking about your skin that may be different than you've ever heard before. So your skin is actually a reflection of what's going on in your gut. So a great example of this is acne. A lot of times we will see a lot of teenagers specifically with really bad acne because their diet is horrible. So when they're eating really bad food, what ends up happening is that the skin has to push that food, or the gut has to push that food out, and your skin is the biggest exit point. It's also the biggest entry point. So I never want to give you something that you would do topically without reminding you that the microbiome is really important in that. An interesting story that I will tell you is I remember that when my kids were in high school, my daughter had a friend over and he was really dealing with a lot of acne challenges. And he asked me what he could do about it. And one of my recommendations was to get off conventional milk. And he was a big milk drinker, drank it like at every meal. And that was a troubling thought for him. So I said, just get off of it for a week and see what happens. He had really bad skin. 1 week and his skin completely cleared up. And now he had momentum and he was like, okay, I need to look at this milk thing a little different. So you might try, when we go to repair the gut, I wrote so much in both of my books about gut repair. I have a 24-hour fast in Fast Like a Girl that really talks about how to repair the gut. So I really do believe that fasting can be really powerful for changing that environment in your gut. And then if you bring good food in, like the 3 Ps that I've taught you in both of these books, the polyphenol, the probiotic, the prebiotic foods, if you bring those back in, you start to change the terrain in your gut and you will see a difference in your skin. I also want to just make a special comment to my menopausal women and men in general. As we age, we lose collagen. But for women, we lose it very quickly because as estradiol goes away during perimenopause and menopause, we lose collagen. So skin changes are quite common as you go through that menopausal experience. So it may be more than gut. It could be hormonal as well. With that in mind, let's go through these 4 things. So the first one, and I'm going to give you some protocols. I haven't done that in a while. I really like the protocols. The first one is tea tree oil. Again, we're talking about skin tags and warts. So tea tree oil is a powerful antiviral. And it's an antifungal. So if you have anything that's itching on your body, if you have sensitive skin, you could do 4 drops of tea tree oil in a half a teaspoon of olive oil. 4 drops, get a little dropper full, 4 drops in a half a teaspoon of olive oil and apply it to the area on your skin that is troublesome. Now, I will tell you that tea tree oil can sting a little bit, so you might be a little bit careful. And I would also say you might have to apply it multiple times. It's not like you're going to put this thing on your skin and all of a sudden everything goes away. Repetition over time can be really powerful. Second thing, apple cider vinegar. I know you all love apple cider vinegar because I've talked about it a bunch and those are the videos y'all watch. So I know we talked about it for regulating blood sugar, but have you thought about it for skin tags and warts? Again, you can just soak a cotton ball in apple cider vinegar and you just apply it before bed. I like before bed because one of the things you can do is wash your face with warm water and then everything's nice and open, and then put that wherever that wart is, put it right on that. You might even mix a little castor oil into that because castor oil will dilate and allow that apple cider vinegar to get in there and dissolve the tag and help with the wart. So it's not just for drinking. You can put it on your skin as well. This one's crazy. Okay, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes about my YouTube videos. So I have a team of researchers that are always bringing me the most current information. So when I put my videos together, there is a team of us that is looking at the information, making sure it's very easy for you to digest and make sure that it's research-based. So one of my researchers for this video brought a very interesting study, and I've got to read it to you because I literally read it a few times and I thought, I don't know, am I going to say this? Are you going to think I'm crazy? And fine, if you think I'm crazy, but the science is there. So the 4th option is duct tape. Now, this is for warts. So I am not saying every funky mole you have, you're going to duct tape it. But here is the 2023 study that people applied a small piece of duct tape to a wart and they kept it on, changing it occasionally up to 8 weeks or until the wart fell off. And the duct tape removed warts in 20% of the patients. So it's not perfect. But if you want to give it a stab, especially if it's on a finger or something or on a toe, try putting duct tape on it. Now, if you really want to make it, stack the hacks here, you could do tea tree oil, you could do some apple cider vinegar, and then do the duct tape. Make sure you change the duct tape regularly. But it's a really interesting way to get rid of warts and skin tags. I am not talking about other strange things. I am just talking about warts and skin tags, but it's there for you as an option. And I get it. For me, it's out of the box. I encourage you to try it and then report back. And I know we have some of you listening that have probably done the duct tape hack before. Let us know. Tell us the story so that we can move beyond just the science showing us, but that we could actually make sure that we are getting some anecdotal studies or responses showing us that it worked. Number 5, it's my favorite. What do you think I'm going to say? Fasting. So it's really interesting. We have fasted so many people in our community for so many years. And people, when they go into the longer fast, talk over and over and over again about how moles start to change for the better. They decrease, they fall off. There are so many skin changes with fasting. I can tell you in my clinic, I used to, when we would do 3-day water fasts together as a patient, as with my patients, you would see so many differences in the skin in the 3-day water fast. You would see more color. It was like the skin was glowing. But if I kept somebody in a fast longer, we see the skin tags and the warts go away when you're like 7 days in, maybe even longer, like 10 days. You can see these moles fall off. I one time met a guy, and when he was on day 200 of a water fast, and he was obese, and he lost a ton of weight, as you can imagine. But the other changes in his body were profound, and one of the biggest ones was the moles that were falling off. So again, the body gets rid of what it doesn't need. It gets rid of the bad when you're fasting, because it has to tighten up and make the good even better. So make sure that when you're looking at skin, that you don't forget fasting as a really important tool for improving skin health. So I just have to put that out there. Now, I want to give you some other bonus ones that I have seen science on that is really interesting. Some of them are a little more pricey. So I love here on YouTube to give you the free resources. But one of them is hyperbaric oxygen. So hyperbaric oxygen improves blood flow to the brain, improves blood flow to the skin. So the studies done on hyperbaric is not just like you pop into a hyperbaric chamber once, but if you do it a series of them, and you ultimately want to get about 40 hours in a 90-day period, which means you need to go to a clinic or get one in your house. I can leave a link to one of my favorite companies that will sell hyperbaric. It's called HBOT USA. If you're ever interested in purchasing one, they're dear friends of mine, and you can go and learn about it there. But it's a really interesting thing for promoting that good skin health and that good glow that we often are looking for, that healthy glow. You also get the healthy glow with fasting. And then the other little bonus that I want to remind you is really where I started this video, which is we can't lose sight of the power of the microbiome. So if you don't like what's going on in the skin, a good inventory to ask yourself is, are you fasting and are you eating fermented foods? For every single expert I've ever brought onto my podcast, everybody agrees fermented foods are the bomb. I'm not even sure I could have found any doctor or any expert tell me that fermented foods are bad. Sometimes for SIBO patients, they can be difficult, but as far as harming the body, no way. Fermented foods heal the gut. So I do fermented foods daily. Do I love it? Not always. There's sauerkraut I eat I don't love. I'm not a fan of kimchi, but I eat it. So it might be that if you're not enjoying your skin, that you really look at more fasting and adding more fermented foods in. So there you go. Those are my natural remedies. Again, we're a community here. I'd love in the comments for you to put if any of these techniques have worked for you, especially the duct tape one. And as always, we got to go to lifestyles. Many of these are lifestyle oriented. Once we go to lifestyle, we get our lifestyle dialed in, we start to see that our body, including our skin, looks and feels the way we want it. So as always, I hope that helps. So if you love this video, you're going to want to check out this video. Foods that I used to eat, 7 of them. I used to eat them all the time. Some of them are going to shock you, and I don't eat them anymore. Now, let me tell you where you might find conventional fruit. So apples and bananas are kind of the biggies. The apple a day kept the doctor away. Not anymore.